Tonight with Bill O'Reilly, host of the No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com. His content online, YouTube /Bill O'Reilly. His new book, and this is what Bill inspired me for tonight's monologue, is Confronting Evil, Assessing the Worst of the Worst. Part of confronting evil is being honest about the problem. Islamic terrorism is evil. Are Western politicians and Western culture being honest about what it is and the dangers from it?
Well, that's why Ayatollah Khomeini's on the cover of Confronting Evil. That's why I threw him on the cover, because he ignited the jihad. And there are two kinds of anti-Semitism in the world. Most people don't know this. The first kind is familial, where you're a little kid, you're born, your parents are telling you that Jews are the devil and all kinds of bad stuff. Throughout your whole childhood, that's what you hear. Jews are bad. Got to get rid of the Jews. That's familial anti-Semitism, okay? Mandami, the elected mayor of New York City, comes from that environment, all right? Second kind of anti-Semitism is ignorance. That's the college students at Columbia and other colleges that take over the campus and scream about stuff they have no blanket idea about, no solutions, don't know the history, don't know anything about it. They're ignorant. And then they apply their ignorance to individuals. So Jewish students are scorned. And when you combine those two elements of anti-Semitism, you pretty much cover it all. Now, a couple of things should be pointed out. Crazy Muslims kill other Muslims.
Sure.
Just go look up the Iran-Iraq war, okay?
Well, yeah, no, that's why the United Arab Emirates and others warn the most and are the most afraid of radical Islam. And they are much, you know, it's the irony, right, Bill, that they are much tougher on radical Islam in the United Arab Emirates or in Saudi Arabia or in Jordan. They are much more scared of it than they are in Europe, in Canada, in parts of the United States, and in Australia. Why is that? Because the Western countries don't understand it. So Muslims comprise less than 1% of the American population. Americans have no idea about what Islam is, what Muhammad, the prophet, did, what the Wahhabists teach the young kids when they get out of their house. They go to school and they hate Jews there. So doesn't this go though beyond Jews, right? And I say this because you just said
what Muhammad.
Yeah, but what Muhammad teaches, okay, a lot of the teachings of Islam, if you go back and look at it, the tenets of Islam are not compatible with Western values. Yes, the Jews are the canary in the coal mine, but even Bill, as a God-fearing Catholic as you are, to many Muslims, you are still an infidel. Yeah, and in some places, I don't deserve to live. But it's Jewish-centric. And then if you support Israel or the United States, which is deemed by the fanatical Islamist movement as pro-Israel, so we're the same as they are, okay, then you deserve to die. So when people actually figure out what's going on here, there is no solution in free countries where you can move about, where you can't condemn anyone or imprison anyone if they believe a certain thing. If they threaten somebody, you can. So we have laws that say if you threaten somebody, you can be prosecuted. Very rarely are those laws enforced, unfortunately. But in places like Australia, Canada, Scandinavian countries, they're afraid. You hit it on the head. They're afraid of them. And I just want to be clear about what you're saying. They, the politicians,
yes,
are
the government and the people are afraid of the jihad. They want to look away, just like every evildoer in my book got power because good people looked away. And then they lost the certification of being good by allowing evil. They're afraid of them. Look, in France, they can't even have their New Year's Eve event, which they've had for 60 years, because they fear this Muslim jihadist community will come in and throw bombs.
The question is, right, the question though is, and I say this, why don't they do something about it?
Well, what can you do though?
Here's the Australian Prime Minister. Hold on, take a listen.
We are stronger than the cowards who did this. And I want to conclude finally by saying that the government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws.
So he's a complete nitwit, weakling, whatever you want to call it. But hold on. You say, what do you want to do? Okay, you go after, you strongly use law enforcement to go after providing material support for terrorists. You revoke the visas of anybody who attends a mosque where radical Islam is taught. You use the law enforcement tools that you have to throw people in jail who try and become terrorists in any way, shape, or form. And there's a lot you can do, and the stakes, Bill, I think, are pretty high. We put together a scroll of all of the events. Actually, it's not exhaustive, but it's of many of the largest terrorist attacks, all carried out by Islamic terrorists. And again, nobody seems to be talking about this in these terms.
Well, China did. They just threw them in concentration camps in the western part.
They threw the innocent Muslims in concentration camps, too.
Everybody.
Right.
Okay, they just rounded them up and threw them in the concentration camps because they knew there was a danger from the Uyghurs to the government, and they didn't care whether you were innocent or guilty. That's what China didn't care. But here's something interesting. After 9/11 in New York City, there was absolute chaos inside law enforcement here. And because there were threats every day that there were going to be follow-up attacks, follow-up attacks, follow-up. I was deeply involved with that. And the people who ran the New York City Police Department did two things. They asked for the feds to come in right away, okay? And they did, all right? So they wanted the resources, the worldwide resources. And then the NYPD actually went to countries like France, high-value targets, they called them, with officers. And they put a cordon around the city. Any known mosque that preached violence was surveilled inside and out. They hired a whole bunch of Middle Eastern undercover agents to go in. They picked these guys up, boom, 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 boom. And once they were facing a hard time because they were terrorists, they were being charged federal terrorists, they gave up other people. It was almost a miracle. There were no other terrorist attacks after 9/11.
We've lost the will to do that. And I think it goes deeper than that, though. And I keep coming back to this. Radical Islam is one thing. The actual act of terrorism, hopefully we can all agree that that's bad. Ilhan Omar seems to sort of be in this world that she doesn't want.
It's another one. Okay.
But I think that there's a different issue here, though, with actually dealing with the tenets of Islam, dealing with what this religion...
You can't do that in America.
But I don't know.
You can't do it.
You can call it out, and that's not what's happening.
Right.
For example, CNN, Abby Phillip was on, and that was a big discussion of whether the culture of a number of these countries, Somalia, Afghanistan, the list goes on, Pakistan, is compatible with American culture. Take a listen.
In Minnesota, we've seen 81% of Somalians are on welfare, 35% of Somalia's GDP is remittances, and now they've stolen at least $1 billion, maybe $8 billion. And so there's a question, the Somalian community. So there's a question, do we want to continue to allow
the Somalian community did not steal $1.6 billion.
And it went on to whether or not culturally you can have people who believe in gender mutilation coming into America and not assimilating.
Listen, the progressive movement, which controls the Democratic Party, is sympathetic to, I'm not going to say violence, but they don't want to tag any groups with being untoward. And you see that. Look, when Biden surrendered in Afghanistan, the president of the United States surrendered. They knew that every woman in the country, Afghanistan, was going to be brutalized. Right. Every one. Yet Biden, oh no, women, oh, I want them in power. Women, they knew it. They put ideology, Israel is bad, Israel is a war state, above protecting the innocent. That is what the progressive movement, not only here, but in the drug issue, in almost every issue does. They put their fantasy ideology, oh, this is the way it should be. When it comes right down to it, they're throwing every Afghan woman not only under the bus, but in the grave. You get out of line in Afghanistan,
right?
Okay?
Well, it's not
you
just
know what
Afghanistan.
happens to you.
Yeah, it's not just Afghanistan. I mean, most Islamic majority countries, no freedom of religion, no freedom of speech, no freedom of assembly, no freedom of protest, and women are property.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.